Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Beauty and the Bible podcast. My name is Valerie, and I'll be the host. This is our first episode, and I am very nervous, but definitely not a tech expert in any way. I have a microphone, and I have my iPhone, and I'm going to see how far that can take me. I definitely want to get like a better setup. I ordered some stuff that just didn't come in, and I had time today, and I was like, you know what, I just want to jump into it even if I don't have all the proper equipment. So welcome to the podcast studio. It is the reception desk inside my salon. I don't know if it'll stay here, but it'll do for right now. So I just wanted to start this podcast as a space or like a platform for people who want to figure out how to bring their faith, like for me, my specific like Catholic faith or a Christian faith and their beliefs in the Lord with them to work. I'm going to speak mostly on the beauty industry because that's what I know best. So hence the name Beauty and the Bible podcast. But it's for anybody if you find yourself relating to it, and I'll speak a lot still on like entrepreneurship and business ownership and just bringing God in with that instead of leaving the world separate. So I feel like for me, I have a really bad habit that I'm trying to break of keeping my church life separate from my work life, which is natural. I feel like growing up, that's all we're taught is like separation of church and school, church and work, like, and it's not a bad thing because you never want to make anyone uncomfortable, but I feel like I want to create a space that's comfortable for people who do subscribe to that and want to learn more and want to continue growing. I think we should work together and help each other grow rather than leaving it all up to one another to figure it out on our own. So that's going to be my goal. If it resonates with you, I hope it finds you, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. We can be friends in other ways, but this is the space where I'm going to be speaking on my faith and making connections between the beauty world and the working with clients and how we can bring Jesus into that and be Christian or be Catholic inside the workplace and minister to our clients. So, feel their needs. I think we can serve their needs much more than their appearance. And yes, we can be there for them when they have special events or they want to look good. We can make them feel good in that way and give them confidence. And that's a beautiful thing in and of itself. That's why I got into it. That's what I love about my industry, the beauty industry. But this year, I've just done a lot of like my own personal research and my own personal like soul searching. And I just want to bring more than that to my clients when they're open to hear it. I want it to be a safe space for them to talk, and it is like, I think that's what's beautiful about our jobs is like we can serve people in such a more vulnerable way than you can in other areas, like other workplaces like a store or something like that. Everywhere else in the world, it's very cold. It's very like personal space. Like everyone needs to be in their bubble, and when they come to us, we are like touching them and we're giving them a haircut, or we're doing their nails, touching their hands. Or for me, like my clients have their eyes closed and their full trust is in me. I'm working on their eyes, and in that, like they open up a lot and they are very vulnerable. I think a lot of beauty professionals would know what I mean. Like my clients tell me things, tell me stories, tell me how they're feeling, things that they don't even tell their best friends or their family or their parents or their kids. They are telling me at their appointments, and that's a very humbling feeling, and it's a high responsibility to take on their emotions, and it goes much deeper than a transaction of like, I give you lashes, you give me money, and then we part ways. I know my clients on a very deep level, and sometimes they're shy and they don't open up, but it's just a space where they can relax, and that's a beautiful thing too. They can have some me time and wind down, and either way, I mean, whatever they need from me, I try to provide, and I know a lot of beauty professionals feel the same way, and we pour into them a lot. So this is kind of just for my beauty professionals. I want to pour into you and I want to open up conversations. I would really love to build like a community, even if it's 5, 10, 20 people, just like open dialogues and talking about connecting the two. So bringing our faith in with our work. So yeah, I just want to have support for that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm not an expert by any means. I'm learning right with everybody listening. So I'm definitely not a Bible expert, and I want to learn more about it and make more connections. And so this podcast is very much just a place for me to learn and speak my thoughts and like hopefully just have a deeper understanding of what God wants for us and why he blessed us with these abilities, why he blessed me with the ability to hold tweezers and have a steady hand and be patient with what I do. I truly believe that he blessed me with that ability because he has a reason for why I'm doing lashes. For me, like, it's worked out so well for me the last 3.5 years that I've been doing lashes. I mean, and I think that's because this is really where God wants me to be. And if it wasn't working, I would like probably have to find something else just because God would have something else for me. But if you do hair or wax or do facials, I truly believe that God knew you would be doing that when he gave you the message to go to school for it and get into whatever your field is. And he wants you to use it. That's what I believe. I think when we leave this earth and we go to heaven, we're gonna meet God and he's gonna say, where's everybody else? I don't want to have that feeling of like not bringing anyone with me to heaven. Like my clients mean a lot to me, and people that I encounter on a daily basis mean a lot to me, and I just really hope that I can bring some people to heaven with me. That's my goal, and that's just what I want to speak about here in this podcast. And yeah, I don't think it helps to keep the world separate. I mean, going to my church group and talking about God and only talking about it there, it's growing me, yes, it's growing my faith, but it's not helping with the people who haven't found a church family yet, or maybe they're looking for God and they don't connect with church. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I do connect with church. That's where I feel God the most, his presence. I've been Catholic since I was a baby, and that's where I feel him. But I know for a lot of people, there's a lot of wounds with that. They have had church trauma and they don't feel safe in a church. It's super sad, but I don't think that I don't fault them for that at all. So if I could bring some sort of presence to them in their lash appointment or something like that, that's my goal. And I want to always keep my core values in my business. I want to run my business as someone who knows God and not someone who is scared to talk about God. When I make big decisions, like when I made the decision to open a salon and lease out this space, it was very much faith focused, and everything was just, is this what God is leading me to? And I feel the most success with things when I focus on that. So I just really want to stay aligned with my goals in growing my faith, and also hopefully help someone else who's in the same boat, or maybe you don't know what boat you're in. Maybe you're not in a boat yet, but if you feel like there's some sort of disconnect and you're wanting to find how to bring the two worlds together, I hope we could talk about that here. So you can tune in. And yeah, so I'm just going to give a little bit of my background in this introduction episode. I've been in the beauty industry since I was 17 years old. I am 22 now, and when I first started, I wanted to do hair, so I did hair for a little bit, but I was always like grinding. I mean, that's a compliment that I got a lot, is that I was such a hard worker, such a grinder, and like, even so I did hair, I cut hair, and then I was also working at a beauty supply store after high school, and then I was also going to night school for aesthetics, and it was there that I found lashes. And it was really hard at first. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get this, but I wanted to keep going at it, and I went and worked at a lash salon up in the valley, and then I eventually started working here. But I mean, ever since the beginning, I've always been drawn to the beauty industry because of its ability to make people feel good. I mean, I've always said that. I think anyone who has asked me, like, ever since I was 17, could tell you that I've always said that I just like the idea that I can make someone feel good, like better about themselves, more confident through what I do. But now that I've been in it for a couple years, I've learned it goes so much deeper than that, and it's so much deeper than like looking good and leaving feeling like, oh, I look good, but it's being served, it's being catered to so many times in the world, especially women. I don't mean to make it about that, but women are always being made to feel like a burden. They're always apologizing, and they're always feeling like they're annoying, or their needs are an inconvenience to someone else. And when my clients come to me, I never want them to feel like an inconvenience. I always want them to feel heard, understood, and like served, like ministered to. Like, I want to fill the needs that they have spiritually and physically with their beauty. And I've found a lot of love for lash extensions because I've been able to do that. And I just want to keep going with that. Now that I know, like, okay, I know how to do lashes. I've taken quite a few trainings, and I have a good book of clients. I want to go deeper than that, and I have like a higher expectation for myself than just doing good lashes, which is great. Definitely, it's an awesome trade, but now it's so much more than that now. And I've really worked on getting back into my faith, back deeper into it this last year or the last 2 years, because I know when the churches were closed and I was just like moving out of my parents' house, like kind of like finding my own way in the adult world a couple years ago, faith was not my biggest priority. It was just really hard to find something that was like a daily reminder about it, and it really like frustrated me because I grew up so like ingrained in it that I knew better and I just wasn't doing better, and I was like, what is going wrong here? But I just got more serious about it. I got back into it, and I've been having like so much fun. I've found so much true, genuine happiness through like being back involved in the church, being part of my young adult group, and doing the retreats, and just going to Sunday Mass, and just keeping it a very steady thing. Like I said, not everyone connects with that, and for anyone looking for where they fit, I hope to help them find that, and just help them have a relationship with God, no matter what that looks like, if that's what they're searching for. So just bringing God to them and praying for them and hearing their struggles, and like really genuinely caring versus just being like an ear to listen, but a listening ear, but also actually like praying and actually wanting to use my business and my abilities that God blessed me with to make a difference and better the world, and use even the money that he gives me as a tool. And those are some of my priorities, and that's what I'm going to speak on here in the podcast. So yeah, I have a lot of ideas on what to talk about, but if you ever want to hear a topic, I am so down to like hear suggestions and talk about things that the community or the viewers want to talk about. And I'm just gonna like share my views. It's kind of scary because I could like offend people, but I don't think nothing that I'm saying is coming from a place of judgment or like trying to offend anybody or like put anyone down for their beliefs. It's just genuinely me like talking about my beliefs. So if it's something that you appreciate and like speaks to you, I would love to have you here. I would love to have you listen. But if it's not, I mean, no hard feelings. Definitely, we could still be friends in other ways. But yeah, that's what this platform is going to be. Yeah, I just felt like I was noticing, for me, like I engulf myself in education for my career, my lash career. I love trainings and events and podcasts about lashing, and we also live in a very amazing time right now in the beauty industry where everyone is so giving with information. It's beautiful. But I noticed when I was having these feelings of like, how do I connect my faith and my job in a seamless way that feels natural and not weird and not pushy? I was struggling, and I really couldn't find a place to learn and like work on that. So with very little faith-based content in the beauty industry, I just figured like I would make some, and instead of looking for like, and I couldn't find anything that I was looking for in that sense. There's a lot of amazing podcasts, but in that sense of the Christian or the Catholic faith, I wasn't seeing what I was looking for. So I wanted to make it that, and maybe if I'm not the only one looking for that, it can find the right people. But yeah, I hope you can learn a little bit from this. And I think that's gonna wrap it up for the intro. We'll do longer episodes in the future, but this will just be a short one. I hope that I answered some questions about what this is. But yeah, this was the first episode of Beauty and the Bible podcast, and I'll talk to you later.